Hello, I'm Sarah McKenna, and I'm delighted to be here again with another of our introductions to the upcoming webinar series. Now, the title of the webinar is Sustainability in a World Growing in Uncertainty, Risks and Opportunities, Optimizing Performance, Unlocking and Allocating Resources Ahead of Less Resilient Competitors. Now, I'm sure you've seen a number of these videos already, so I won't go into too much detail, but I will say if you want to ask any questions, Paddy Duffy is definitely your man, and he's also the host for the webinars as well. So today, another of our taster sessions by having a quick chat with one of the speakers for the second session, the what, and that's understanding what we can do, being the first step in understanding organizational resilience and ensuring performance. So, Lebo, you've agreed to be a speaker. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Sarah. My name is Lebogang Senne. I am a bit of an uncertainty myself, if I'm being honest. I'm a trained chartered accountant, and I have spent much of my career in standard setting. I'm not much of a fan of the numbers. So today I work as a independent advisor in financial and sustainability reporting with a focus on how global standards are adopted and applied, particularly in Africa. I like to believe that I've bridged the gap in translating technical standards through storytelling to ensure that they're not just abstract, but connected to real world impact. I also serve on several public sector boards and audit committees in South Africa, where I provide governance oversight on risk, strategy, and sustainability.
Thank you. And I can see why you were chosen to speak. And I particularly like the fact that you use storytelling as a way to get the message across. When people are having an enjoyable conversation, they learn more. So while I can see why you were chosen to speak, what's more important to me is why you wanted to speak. What was it specifically that made you want to be involved with this series?
Well, essentially, right. Uncertainty is really something that we all face, but it often plays out very differently depending on context. I believe conversations like this help us move beyond compliance, checklist, and encourage us to start thinking about sustainability as a driver of resilience and performance. So for me, this is an opportunity to share insights from my regional context, but also to learn from colleagues working in other environments.
I mean, that's fantastic. I absolutely love that. Again, it's all very logical and very personable. And, as I say, best way to get the point across. Now, I want to ask you a key question. And this is a question I've put to all of the speakers who are taking part in these webinars. And that is, do you think that the conflict between the political and the scientific is going to reduce or worsen in the coming year or two? And why?
Well, I actually really think that this tension is unlikely to disappear. If anything, it's probably may become worse and sharper because the pace of scientific evidence on issues like climate is accelerating, while political cycles often move more slowly. But from a business perspective, what matters is not whether politicians and scientists always agree or align, but how organizations actually respond. The science is clear and the risks are material. So the real question for companies is, are we planning to and allocating resources in line with that evidence, regardless of the political noise?
Thank you so much. And I think that's a really, really telling message. The fact that actually it is us, the people working in organizations, that can really take the lead in this. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. And I can tell you the other speakers will be giving you another deep dive into this as well. So when you all come together, it's going to be really, really interesting. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask one final question. What is your goal for the webinar? As in, what do you want the delegates to take away from the sessions?
Well, I want to be true to this what, to help delegates leave with a clear sense of the what uncertainty means for their organizations in practice. If they can identify one area where uncertainty is exposing fragility or one opportunity where resilience can be built, then this session will have added tremendous value. I'd like participants to see sustainability not as an extra burden, but as a way of positioning themselves ahead of less resilient competitors.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to sign off now. Once again, really looking forward to seeing you speak and to all of the other speakers as well. So, to let you know, the what part of the what, so the why, what, how sessions is on the 22nd of October. So, please do pop along to the ESG exchange to book your place. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sarah. Lovely chatting to you.